Once upon a time, there was a poor widow who lived in a little cottage with her only son Jack. Jack and his mother had just run out of food and money, so the mother said to her son,
"Jack, take the cow to market and sell her."
So off went Jack. On his way, he met a butcher. The butcher showed Jack some beautiful beans and told him how magical they were. The butcher told Jack that they were of great value and persuaded Jack to trade his cow for the beans. When Jack returned home and handed his mother the beans, she was very upset and began to cry. She tossed the beans out of Jack's window and sent him to bed without any supper. The next morning, Jack awoke to a darkened room. Outside his window he saw a great green beanstalk blocking the sunlight. The beanstalk reached so high, he lost sight of it in the clouds. Certain that something wonderful would be found, Jack began to climb the beanstalk. Up and up and up Jack climbed until everything behind him looked quite small. At last, Jack reached the top and found himself in a beautiful wooded country. In the distance, he saw a castle. Suddenly, a strange woman stood in front of Jack and said,
"Boy, that castle belongs to you. A wicked giant killed your father and took the castle from your mother. You must win it back."
And in an instant, the woman disappeared. Jack knew immediately that she was a fairy and set off towards the castle. When Jack arrived, he knocked on the door. An old giantess opened it and quickly pulled Jack inside, for she thought he would make a nice supper and did not want to share him with her husband. At that moment, she heard the giant approaching. She placed Jack in the oven and told him to keep still or the giant would eat him. As the ogre came in, he cried, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the breath of an Englishman."
"Oh,"
said his wife,
"there's nobody here. You only smell a crow that is flying over the chimney."
Then the giant sat down to dinner, and when he had eaten a whole cow, he said, "Bring me my hen." The giantess put the hen on the table and went away. "Lay!" Giant to the hen, and she laid a golden egg. Jack could see quite well from his hiding spot. 3 times the giant said lay, and each time the hen laid a solid gold egg. Then the giant, being drowsy, shut his eyes and soon snored very loudly. Jack quietly moved out of the oven, grabbed the hen, ran out of the castle and quickly climbed down the beanstalk. His mother was happy to see Jack home safely and was delighted by the hen, which laid them 3 gold eggs every day. Jack's mother sold them in town, and soon they grew quite rich. Some time later, Jack journeyed back up the beanstalk and once more knocked on the castle door. Being so old, the giantess did not remember Jack and dragged him inside, wishing to save him for dinner. Once again, she heard the giant coming and hid Jack in the same oven and told him to keep still. Then the giant came in, saying, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the breath of an Englishman."
"Oh,"
said his wife,
"it is only the cowherd who has been here with your ox."
Then the giant sat down, and when he had eaten the entire ox, he told his wife to bring his money bags. She instantly fetched 2 large bags of gold and went about her housework. The ogre counted out the gold and returned them to the bags. Soon the giant grew tired and fell asleep. When Jack heard the giant snore, he crept out of the oven, seized the bags, hurried out of the castle and quickly climbed down the beanstalk. Jack's mother was glad to see him safe at home again, and for a long time she would not let him go up the beanstalk. But Jack knew he had not yet obeyed the fairy's command to win back the castle. So after a time he set off once more on his adventure and tapped again at the castle door. The giantess again did not remember Jack, and seeing how delicious he looked, she bade him come in. But at that moment she heard her husband's step approaching. Afraid of losing her supper, the ogress once again shut Jack in the oven. The giant entered the room with his usual cry,
Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the breath of an Englishman!
Oh no,
said his wife.
it is only the shepherd who has been up with the sheep for your dinner.
The giant sat down, and when he had eaten the sheep, he said,
I should like some music! Bring me my harp!
The ogress brought in a golden harp, set it on a table, and went away. Then the ogress said,
Play!
to the harp, and played it so delightfully that Jack was charmed. Once again, the giant fell asleep and began to snore. Jack quickly stole out of the oven, seized the harp, and quickly ran away with it. But the harp was a fairy belonging to the giant, and as Jack ran, it cried out.
Master!
The giant woke up slowly and rushed after Jack. Jack quickly climbed down the beanstalk, this time hearing the tramp of the giant's feet behind him. Just as he reached the bottom, he saw the ogre looking down on him. In an instant, the giant's feet were on the beanstalk.
Mother! Mother! Bring me the ox!
Cried Jack. His mother hastened with it, and Jack quickly chopped at the beanstalk, cutting it in half. The giant, losing his hold, fell heavily to the ground and died. At that moment, the fairy again appeared before Jack and explained to Jack that she was the butcher who had given him the magic beans. And touching the broken beanstalk, she presented Jack with a flight of easy steps.
Go up
She said,
and take possession of your home. There is no more danger. You have been brave and good. May you live happily ever after.
That is all.